army was warning of something like this happening, and in fact, we're preparing for it for several days, if not weeks. They said that they have new capabilities for not only air defense, but also for some sort of retaliation as well. There is a lot that is falling from the sky. At this point in time, we are from a high view or on a roof kind of lookout. And a lot of these types of projectiles that we saw came from many different areas. Some of them came from the Mediterranean above our heads to behind us, and we can hear some explosions in the distance here. But again, it is hard to tell if these are the drones themselves, if these are other types of projectiles that were launched. But again, the Israeli military is actively intercepting projectiles all over Israel, not just in Tel Aviv, and there are areas all over the country. In fact, specifically in the south near Dimona, where there is a nuclear plant that the Israeli Home Front Command has told people to remain in sheltered and safe areas, meaning bomb shelters, until further notice. But where we are specifically, again, these sirens have not rung, but there are red alerts all over the state of Israel at this time, and these interceptors that are being launched by the Israeli military, again, are threefold. We have the Iron Dome missile defense system, which is the most commonly used in Israel. Then secondly, we have the David Sling, which is for medium to longer range projectiles. And then finally, the Arrow for longer projectiles, ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and drones. The Israelis have confirmed that at least 100 drones were fired by the Iranians from Iranian territory towards Israel, but it's not really known if all of them have reached, as these sirens are now still blaring all over Israel at local time 1:47, Darine.
Hamda, I'll keep you with me for now. If you need to go at any point, you let me know. And I know that this is sort of a developing story, and you're just trying to gather as much information as you can. But from what you see, is it possible to say where they're being launched from and which areas?
Well, the Israeli interceptors are being launched from military positions. There are Iron Dome batteries and other defense systems that are stationed all over the countries. But we did see some coming off the Mediterranean, coming towards the sea to behind us, which is quite interesting. And these projectiles still in the sky here, as you can see. And there is active air defense happening all over the country there. You can see that was a live interception in the sky radiating, and a lot of this shrapnel is now going to rain down into the areas where they were intercepted. It's quite looks like it's in the distance, but it is quite above us. And the Israeli military, again, did give out guidelines for what to do in situations like this. Though there haven't been sirens in this part of Tel Aviv, you can still see the activity in the sky, and it is quite active. The interceptors are coming from different Israeli military bases, and again, the Iron Dome is stationed in many different locations across the country. But there are also other air defenses that are near other airfields for this type of reason specifically, and the Israeli army said that they would deploy those resources when it came to a situation like this. The Israeli army has never been faced with this type of weaponry that has entered its airspace, and as a result, they have closed their airspace. They have landed all civilian flights. The airspace is completely closed. There was roars of Israeli fighter jets in the air earlier in the evening, and it's part of this multi-layered defense mechanism that they're talking about in order to shoot down these drones and potentially these ballistic, perhaps cruise missiles that are also coming towards Israeli airspace.
Hamda, we're also hearing, and this is according to the AP news agency, and I believe that you were saying this a moment ago as well. So air raid sirens are sounded in Jerusalem as explosions are heard in the skies above. And we're looking at the live picture right now from West Jerusalem. You're speaking to us, though, from Tel Aviv. Talk us through what sort of preparations were being made by the Israeli military in anticipation of an Iranian attack. And do you think that this is what they expected?
Well, the Israelis said that they were prepared for a wide variety of scenarios, and in fact, they were ready for anything that could happen. And just this evening, Homefront Command, that is an extension of the Israeli military, had issued an abundance of new guidelines. In fact, there was a protest going on in Tel Aviv in the evening that the police had shut down because of 11 o'clock this evening. They said that there would be no gatherings of more than 1,000 people. Schools were closed. Different work sectors were closed as well for the next 2 days in anticipation for this attack that they said was imminent. And the Israelis were expecting a response, and that's because of their airstrikes on the Iranian consulate in Damascus on April 1st. They knew they were anticipating this kind of response. Perhaps they didn't know the size and the scale and the type of weaponry that would be used, but nonetheless, a response and a retaliation from the Iranians was promised. The Israelis say that they are partnering with regional allies and additionally the United States and the United Kingdom. In fact, the Israeli army is reporting that several drones were already shot down before they had reached Israeli airspace. You're looking here at more active interceptions that are happening in the sky, and what's falling here is the shrapnel that will land in different areas. Now, where that is happening over, sirens are also ringing. And when that happens, Israeli authorities say for people to go into these protected areas for a minimum of 10 minutes unless told otherwise. They usually get these types of alerts on their phones. But again, all of the GPS and phone type systems are disrupted at this point. But you can just see it in the sky that this is clearly an active situation that the Israeli military is still saying could take hours. They were anticipating these types of drones coming in anywhere, reports indicated, from 2 to 10 hours. So it still looks like it's going to be a long night ahead, as the Israelis say they have defense mechanisms that are stockpiled, they are ready to go, and they are prepared for any type of scenario.
Okay, Hamda, we'll let you go for now. Thank you. We'll bring in Rory Challens from occupied East Jerusalem. And Rory, can you confirm, just tell us what's happening there, because we're hearing air raid sirens go off in Jerusalem and explosions above the skies. What do you see and hear?
Yeah, exactly that. For the last 10 minutes or so, we've been looking out from the balcony here across the Jerusalem skyline. We've seen a
So I'm looking here on Twitter. A lot of information is coming through. At first, they said it was 50 drones. Now we're hearing more than 100. I'm also looking at this video statement by Benjamin Netanyahu, where he says the defense systems are deployed. We are prepared for any scenario, both in defense and attack. The state of Israel is strong. The IDF is strong. The public is strong. We appreciate the U.S. standing by Israel's side, as well as the support of Great Britain, France, as well as many other countries. We're seeing alliances being formed, sir. It's concerning. You're also seeing a lot of people talking about World War III. How concerning is this situation? Is Israel able to fend off all of these drones?
Well, we'll have to wait and see. First, they have to make it over here. It takes a few hours, at least 5 or 6 more hours before impact is scheduled. And then Israel has very strong air defenses, very strong, capable, and up to speed. And unfortunately as well, we've been shooting things out of the sky for the last half year. We've been intercepting Iranian drones and missiles being fired by the Houthis in Yemen, and by Iranian proxies in Syria, and by Iranian proxies in Lebanon and in Gaza. So the moment here, what's really big and different is that the Iranians, for the first time, masks are off, and they are actually firing from western Iran towards Israel. I also read statements, official statements by the Iranian regime, that they are taking responsibility for this. The Revolutionary Guard and the Supreme Leader are taking responsibility, so they are not hiding. masks are off. And as the previous speaker said, the colonel, what really matters now is how big will the damage be in Israel, if any damage at all. And then what really will make it interesting is how will Israel decide to defend itself? Will Israel continue with a policy of waiting and absorbing Iranian attacks, whether by proxy or directly from Iran? Or will Israel, for the first time, decide to defend itself by taking out those that are firing at it?
Colonel Cornicus, what is your concern? Do you anticipate casualties? I asked Colonel Schaefer about it earlier. He doesn't anticipate any. He has full confidence in the Iron Dome. But we're talking about over 100 drones. And then do you see this conflict expanding further?
Yeah, so unfortunately, the Iranians have a lot of experience with firing drones and cruise missiles at various targets. They've gained a lot of experience in Ukraine, and they have, of course, done it against Saudi Arabia. And they have been firing these weapons for quite a while, so they are capable at inflicting damage. Israel has a very robust air defense array. The Iron Dome is one part of it, but we have additional missile systems as well, by the way, developed together with the US, some of it with US congressional funding. And I think that these systems are combat proven and very good, of the highest quality. It remains to be seen. Maybe the Iranians have a surprise up their sleeve. Maybe they're trying to do some kind of maneuver to mislead us and to make us focus on the drones, and they will try to do something else. We'll have to wait and see and be patient and be very vigilant. I know that our air defenses are up, ready, geared, and very much prepared. And what really is, it of course will be indicative of what happens in the future. If there are casualties in Israel, then surely the margin that Israel has, or the allowance that Israel can tolerate Israeli casualties, is very, very low. And then Israel will have to retaliate against Iran for causing casualties in Israel. So that, of course, is a few hours ahead, or maybe a day ahead, and we'll see how things unfold. But definitely, I dare say, a historic moment where masks are off and Iran is attacking Israel for the first time directly and taking responsibility for it.
Okay, there you have it. Now, if you wanna, the last video I did on the red cows, I was talking about this, and you better pay attention, because what has gone down at the southern border and up here at the northern border, with people coming in, yeah, there's a lot of them here, a lot of them. Now I believe, and I know that they're fighting over that mosque thing over there, and the red cow has a lot to do with well, it's supposed to be Ramadan. I don't know when that is, but they want to paint the mosque and rebuild the third temple. So, yes, this is a breaking story of Israel being attacked by Iran, and the you know how it is. They told us not to, but you know how it goes. They're gonna do it and act stupid, and well, it's too late now. All those people are over here, some of them, and we've got cells all over this country. So, and you guessed it, nobody in this is in charge of this. Our country here cares about the American people. You know that. So, with that said, just keep your eyes in the sky, get prepared as best you can, because it's going to be a long road. God bless to everyone, and peace and love to everyone. and stay safe. Keep your head up. Keep on walking. Every time you fall, pick your cross up and keep moving. And with that said, peace and love. God bless everyone. And God take care of our people. In the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.